Hello, hello. Good morning. Happy Monday, June 29th, 2026. I'm Manila Chan. Ted Rall and producer Robbie are, I guess, on their potty break. So I'm alone, at least for the next couple of minutes. Anyway, you were tuned into the Ted Manila Information Show, TMI Show for short, because we bring you way too much information, obviously. We do it live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. So please be sure to hit the like, the follow, the share, the subscribe button, and help our little show. Help us continue to grow this little thing. There be Ted. There be Ted, the T of the TMI Show. And producer Robbie, I was going to ask for any ads, but he's still on his potty break. So we got more films to talk about today, Ted.
We do?
I was going to talk about, while you were gone. I don't know if you've seen this new, I guess it's an Amazon, what is it? Amazon Prime film. Or I don't know if it's theirs, but it's released on Amazon Prime, called Citizen Vigilante. Have you heard of it?
I have heard of it. I have not seen it.
I've seen clips. A lot of them try to put it out of context, but it's a little controversial right now, Ted.
I've heard that. But that's the thing. I'm a little questioning. This show never does controversial stuff. So I don't understand why it's in here, but first time for everything.
Well, it's not this particular film that we're talking about, but it's a 3,000-year-old story. Yes.
Don't know that. Yeah.
It's a 3,000-year-old film that'd be incredible.
That is controversial.
That would be groundbreaking.
Yeah.
Right here on the TMI Show.
Awesome.
But we will talk about Homer, the philosopher, folks. The Odyssey.
Not the guy from The Simpsons.
Although I like talking about Homer a lot too. Now, I don't know if it's me. I don't know what's going on. The audio sounds low in my ear. Does Ted sound low to you guys? Robbie's back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ted,
Robbie, does Ted sound low?
Yeah, he does. A little bit low.
Okay, let me see if I can let me try one.
Or maybe just speak up. You sound okay.
Let me see. Tell me if this helps.
Now you're muted. Wrong way.
How's that?
It helps when we can't hear you.
That's better.
Is that better?
That's better.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
But now it's delayed and echoey.
What?
Yeah. The other way, you just needed to speak up.
Okay. Never a dull moment. All right, hold on.
That's what's called the TMI Show.
We get the best ratings when we're just like dicking around. So
sure. Now he's muted again. Now he's a French mime.
So nope.
No, nothing.
Just Manila and Robbie today. Robbie, do you know about the film Citizen Vigilante?
I've never heard of it, but I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
So people are posting all over Twitter that it's racist or whatever because it's basically exploiting the whole base.
Yeah.
And it takes place in Europe. Okay. Say mic check 1, 2, 3. Yeah,
that's better.
Okay, all right. And do I sound loud enough?
Yes.
Okay.
But now you're not as clear.
Yeah, now you're fuzzy.
Not as crisp and clear.
Oh my God. Really?
Yes,
so are you trying to switch your network? Is that what you're doing?
No, I'm on the same network. I'm changing cameras.
It's
now you're better.
Up. Okay.
Now you're better.
Yeah, looks
okay.
better.
Now we can see your handsome
Vigilante. This is a Robbie film. So it takes place in Europe. I don't know exactly where because I haven't seen it, but I've seen clips. Citizen Vigilante has reached #1 on Amazon Prime. The premise is a young white European woman is walking down the street and is violently raped and stabbed in the neck by an African migrant. And
it happens every day.
So then it does not happen every day.
Okay,
not every
week.
Day.
It
at least happens on the metro, not a metro, but a train, one of these trolley trains in North Carolina.
It happened once.
It happened to that. It wasn't a lady, but it happened to that that Irish dude and the Somali tried to behead him out there on the street. So I mean,
next, Gavin, I would say from the Ukrainian girl, in North Carolina. But anyway, so this takes place in Europe, and so this happens, and white dude, I don't know who he is to that girl. I've never really looked into the movie. But he goes around, he's a vigilante, and he just goes around killing apparently a bunch of dark-skinned folks in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
So how's that racist?
Well, so the question is, how is this presented? Is it presented like that's a good thing that he's doing, or is it like or is it sort of like the Charles Bronson movie Death Wish, which is actually far more sophisticated and nuanced look at vigilantism,
more Bronson. More Bronson-esque. It's neutral, except it depends on, it's in the eye of the beholder.
It depends on how these things, well, so that's cool. If it's sort of like, it has the nuance and it sort of like, shows you the,
But people aren't showing the nuance.
You can sympathize with him, but you can also be horrified by him. That's good.
So you have to, I guess, watch long clips, because like a lot of short clips are being taken out of context and being like, why is Amazon allowing this on their platform? Blah, blah, blah. But anyway, like we said, films are back, Ted. This is a new genre they're calling, though. They're calling it based ploitation. So for the based bros out there, there's a whole genre emerging, and this is now #1 on Amazon Prime. So there you go.
Yeah,
that's what I was going to tell everybody about while you guys were on a potty break. Anyway, let's hop to the stories unless we have an ad.
Yeah, we have an ad. I'll go ahead and read it now. Just give me 1 second here. I'll go ahead and throw it up. Come on. Access Med, powered by Trinova Health, is a revolutionary telehealth service that offers fast, free online evaluations and free home delivery of customized compounded medications, offering custom weight loss support, ivermectin therapy, hair restoration, cosmetic rejuvenation, custom ED treatments, and more. You can complete your visit in less than 10 minutes, and there's no subscriptions or recurring fees ever. We've made getting started easier than ever. Simply follow the link, choose the product or treatment that you're interested in, and then complete a quick online evaluation. Within days, your custom meds will arrive at your door. Mention Rumble in the coupon code and get 10% off your first treatment.
That's a nice, short and sweet ad. That's how we like it. All right. So let's hop to the stories. But now people are going to go look this up. But it's a violent film.
The topic is violent, right?
I have mixed feelings when it comes to vigilantism. If we lived in a functional state and a functional society, there'd be no need for vigilantism. It's kind of like the debate that me and JT just had in the last show. Like, is execution murder? Should rapists be put down? My answer is yes. Yes to putting them down. No, it's not murder. It's justice. So I don't know. It's just, if we had a working system, we wouldn't have these problems. Problem is we don't have a working system.
Yeah, so I don't know if this is, people are like, this citizen vigilante, the film is going to spark more vigilantism, or
I don't think so.
More
there's
white supremacy,
or was really wildly popular, and it didn't.
But it was a different culture in the 70s.
Honestly.
Charles Bronson's got this 38 waging war in Detroit and
New York.
Was it New York? I thought it was Detroit.
It was New York. Yeah, it was my neighborhood. Yeah, it was the Upper West Side of Manhattan.
Yeah, now if the idea was white rage, against other folks, that failed spectacularly because it's now minority white city. So there's that.
And an update, Ted, about the food delivery robots at the University of Wisconsin. They're gone suddenly.
Good.
That's from Stormborn. I think they're just testing them there. I think that's what was happening.
Yeah, well, test fails.
Maybe, but maybe it was a success and they're going to bring them back. I don't know. So Stormborn's going to have to keep us posted about what's happening in Wisconsin. But yeah, universities are where they test out like new tech and see how popular they are. So I wonder if the college folks were like kicking them over, putting gum on them like a trash can.
Maybe, treating them like they were like RoboCops in Times Square Station.
Right. Like, I wonder.
Makes me giggle.
Yeah. So I wonder.
Adrian says the second Death Wish film should have been in Chicago if you watch the first film to the end, but they switched it to LA.
Yeah, that's true. I watched all of them and I really enjoyed them. I love Charles Bronson. I would watch anything with him in it.
Oh my God, I haven't thought of that guy in ages. All right.
Oh, I mean, he's fucking great. Have you ever watched The Magnificent Seven, the remake of the American version of the Kurosawa movie?
Yes.
So good.
Yes. I just haven't who's talked about Charles Bronson in decades.
He's in that.
I know, but I'm saying that's why I'm saying who else but this show would mention Charles Bronson.
Well, everyone
he hasn't gotten
Charles
media
Bronson.
in
Charles
decades.
Bronson is awesome.
No, I agree. But I guarantee you, there's nobody else streaming today. Not only today,
true.
I mean, in this era, this is the only press Charles Bronson has gotten in decades.
Yeah, even in the brosphere, right? They're not covering Charles Bronson because they're young. They don't fucking know anything about true masculine culture. They might know about Clint Eastwood, maybe,
but Charles Bronson is, that's true. They don't know about him. So there you go.
What's your favorite Clint Eastwood movie? I've got to know.
Oh God, I mean, there's so many because I do love him. It might be either The Beguiled or Hang 'Em High.
I don't know. I
haven't seen Two Mules for Sister Sarah. I do like Dirty Harry.
I was going to say that's his.
The one with the chimpanzee.
His film. The
you
film.
Can do without. What is that? Anyway, but loose.
Yeah.
Trying to think what else. I mean, honestly, I like the late period ones too. Oh God, Bridges of Madison County. He's so good.
Really?
Yeah, my favorite's got to be the Outlaw Josie Wales, and I think
so good.
The best scene is whenever he's there and he meets Tin Bears, the Comanche chief, and it's, I'm here to live with you. I'm here to die with you.
So good.
Yeah, excellent movie.
Yeah, I've not seen half of those films.
No. Why were you doubting me for my choice there, Manila?
Bridges of Madison County? Really?
Well, I just wouldn't. The book sucks ass, but the movie's amazing. He directs too. Come on, it's him and Meryl Streep. Hello?
I know. I'm just not like, it's kind of gushy. I don't know.
Oh, it's totally, I don't know. Like I cried like a total pussy.
I'm not. I don't like mushy gushy films. I guess I don't know.
But it's so good because it's.
So I forgot that he was even in it. No, I agree. I can appreciate things.
The scenery, he's amazing. Are you kidding?
No, I can appreciate that stuff. Having been forced to go to take various film classes, I can appreciate it. It's just not my kind of film.
Well, I can't believe I'm more of a girl than you. I guess I can believe that. Yeah, I was married to an Asian lady.
It's not so many feelings, Ted. Why?
I know.
Why?
It's like Star Trek. The feelings, the love, the feelings, the touching. What
is this you were speaking of? The feelings, but please.
The touching.
Please spare me.
Ball has forbidden this.
Yep. Roadbot says The Unforgiven is his favorite.
That's a great movie.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
It's a wicked Gene Hackman too.
I forgot. Oh, Gene Hackman, R.I.P.
Well, at least he died with dignity, the way we would all want to go.
Oh, but his wife made hantavirus famous. So
isn't that what really matters?
Now, my second favorite film of Clint Eastwood, and I'll go because we have a show to do, I guess, is Heartbreak Ridge. You can never play that on TV now. You can never stream it. You can never show it on TV.
Seen that.
Good movie.
Excellent movie.
Look up these old films.
And then, of course, he directed both. I like the fact that he directed Letters from Iwo Jima, and
that was good. Right? Yeah,
one from the Japanese point of view, one from the American point.
Yeah, I think I know him better as a director.
That's because you're
more as a fan that way, rather than. I don't know. I'm not into those tough guy movies. It's just not my thing either. That tough guy, because that's a machismo thing.
For me, great movie.
Thomas's favorite movie of his is Gran Turismo, or not Turismo,
Gran
Torino.
Gran Torino, yeah.
That's where he's the grouch.
Thomas likes it because of all the racism.
Yeah.
Well, those people are Lao technically, so there's a big Lao community up there. Yeah, the Hmong people they're not Thai and they're not Lao. They're technically Lao because, Laos was like randomly divided by the French. Thanks, Ted.
You're welcome.
So when they abandoned Laos, they were like, oh, we will carve this up like here, right here. This will be Thailand.
Listen, Southeast Asians aren't going to oppress themselves. Someone's got to do it.
Thanks, Frenchie. All right, let's get to the show. All right, first up, gotta say, the whole Trump administration, Ted, it started with, you remember with old Pete Hegseth inviting journalists into his private signal chat?
Yes, I recall.
So that, I'm going to say,
such a brainiac he is, really.
Set the stage. That set the stage for the rest of the term. I'm just going to go ahead and call it. We're less than halfway through, but I'm just going to say that set the stage. And here we are now. A data breach exposed some of America's most powerful people. The bigger story is how easy it was. For years, Americans have worried about hackers stealing classified government secrets. This time, the concern wasn't classified information at all. According to Wired magazine, the Pentagon is now investigating a data exposure, as they're calling it, involving Dialogue. I'd never heard of Dialogue. The invitation-only networking organization co-founded back in 2006 by billionaire investor Peter Thiel and tech entrepreneur Aaron Hoffman. The incident exposed sensitive personal information belonging to military officers, intelligence officials, and other prominent attendees, including a senior intelligence official serving in the White House's National Security Council and an active duty intelligence officer supporting a Tier 1 special operations unit. That's fun. The revelation is significant not simply because of who was exposed, but because of where they were gathering. Dialogue, spelled D-I-A-L-O-G, clever, is one of the world's most exclusive private conferences, bringing together senior government officials, military leaders, intelligence professionals, Silicon Valley execs, venture capitalists, academics, and foreign policy makers for off-the-record discussions. Past and scheduled attendees have included people such as Ted Cruz, Scott Bessent, Joe Lonsdale, Ezra Klein, who's a journalist and political commentator, along with senior NATO officials, AI executives, diplomats, and other intelligence leaders. This year's retreat outside of Dublin included sessions on AI, modern warfare, geopolitical conflict, and national security. But that concentration of influence makes the conference especially attractive to foreign intelligence services. Knowing who attends, who they meet with, where they stay, and how they can be contacted is valuable intel on its own. What perhaps is most alarming is that this wasn't reportedly the result of an advanced cyber attack. According to Wired's investigation, the exposure appears to have stemmed from a misconfigured website that allowed visitors to access internal records simply by registering with an email address. Those records reportedly included home addresses, private phone numbers, dates of birth, emergency contacts, political leanings, photographs, authentication tokens, and internal notes used by Dialogue staff. Dialogue has characterized the incident as a cyber attack, but independent cybersecurity experts interviewed by Wired say the available evidence points instead to a preventable web configuration error. Whoops.
Well,
The Pentagon-
it's still, this is semantics, but I would say as a former tech person, it's still a cyber attack. It's just that, it's a really
Like a hack?
easy cyber attack.
It's a lame hack.
It's sort of like, did someone break into your home? Did they break into your home if you left the
Or did you
door
leave the
unlocked
door-
and the door
Yeah.
ajar? Yes, they
That's
broke.
fair.
They didn't break in, but they trespassed, and they shouldn't have been there, right? So
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Like they're not supposed to go in there into your home. Just because you left the front door open doesn't mean
because you were a
they
fool.
come.
But yeah,
Right. So The implications don't stop with national security. The same commercial data ecosystem that can expose senior defense officials also collects information on judges, lawmakers, CEOs, journalists, and ordinary Americans. Smartphones, fitness apps, social media platforms, and countless mobile apps continuously gather location and behavioral data that is often anonymized before being sold through a sprawling data broker industry. The problem is that anonymous data isn't always anonymous. Researchers have repeatedly demonstrated that combining location histories with publicly available information, such as a home address, property records, workplaces, or social media posts, can often reveal exactly who owns a supposedly anonymous device. That's why this story matters. The Pentagon isn't just investigating a data breach, it's confronting a much larger reality. In the digital age, some of the most sensitive information, or intelligence rather, isn't hidden in classified files. It's sitting in commercial databases that were never intended to become national security assets in the first place. So, like Ted said, whoever they paid to set up their website was a derp and left the front door open.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
And Wired Magazine was among some of them to just, they didn't use a hacker. They just used like their tech dude to be like, "Bloop," and he was like, "Oh, look, Ted Cruz is there. Oh, look, here's his home address." And
right. And here's the barber responsible for that horrible beard of his.
Oh God. Well, yeah, because you can collect all the data points of where they were, right? And like they were in Dublin, they were these two dots went together at such and such time. That's a lot of dangerous stuff that could be, not only because their identities are revealed, but let's say somebody wanted to attack Mr. Cruz for that horrible beard, mustache, wolf look.
It would be justified.
Because it's very offensive when you're trying to look like an 1800 1890s barkeep.
Yeah. Someone from,
it's very offensive.
The call's coming in from Williamsburg, Brooklyn.
So, I see how this could matter, but I can't help but point to the absurdity of, first of all, when you're having such a high level concentration of, VIPs, right, within the intel community, aren't they supposed to be smart enough to turn off their phones and not be able to get tracked so easily, or leave, I don't know, put your phone in a Faraday bag?
To be honest, Manila, I gotta say, part of me just makes me think, all this concern about national security and blah, 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 we have to be so worried. I'm like, if they're not worried, I'm not worried. I feel like if you have access to that level of highly classified data where, everything that's in your brain is super important to national security, like you should be living an Mission Impossible lifestyle. Like no one should know who the fuck you are. Your family should not know. You should certainly not be going to fucking conferences and meeting with Ezra fucking Klein. You should be on the down low. Like no one should, it should be even the Mossad and the FSB should be like, we do not know who even has this title. We don't even know if this title exists. Like it is like Ghost. We do not know. And it could be anyone. It could be Clovis. It could be anyone. But
we don't know that about
they roll oh, they're acting like a bunch of insurance company executives going for a holiday weekend, going for a company retreat at the Dude Ranch in Wyoming. I mean, what a bunch of derps. It's like, if your shit's that important, then shut the fuck up. And you don't if you meet somewhere, it should be all
how come we never hear about
coded, encrypted?
Why do we never hear about Kremlin special,
because they're not retards
meetings
that way. They're retards. They're retards another way. Like when they,
they don't send out
get blown up.
Evites.
The Yukis blow up their generals like they're going out of style.
True, but you're saying that the FSB or whatever their iteration is today, I forget.
It's the FSB, yeah, Or the G, it's the GRU.
No, GRU was the old one, I think.
Yeah.
Or is it the other way?
Well, the FSB used to be the KGB, right?
Yeah,
And I
FSB
think
is
the
today, right?
GRU is the NSA.
The intelligence. Yeah. Okay, so we don't ever hear about their meetings because they're not sending out group evites. And then and you can see on the evite.com website like who's attending. Sergei Lavrov is coming. He is bringing cake.
We are all partying in Vladivostok. We bring Edward Snowden to hang out. Like, no. Like, no.
Sergei, bring fruitcake.
Right. No, it's not like that at all.
But that's what we do here with, the likes of like Petey Hegseth there, and like they're just, I can't believe.
Well, these aren't serious people. These are partiers.
That's true. You think that's what so you think the guys that created the website for them,
they think they're probably trashing hotel rooms too. I mean, that's what they're there's hookers galore. I mean, the whole thing.
That's where you want to get the real data, Ted.
That's true. And
from
every
the working
one of those
girls.
Hookers is either on the take or should be.
You ask the working girls. But anyway, that was an interesting soft hack story that
very soft hack. That's a good way to put it. All
right. Let's move on.
For nearly 24 years, Edward Nalwamba called the U.S. home. Now, the 78-year-old retired pastor originally from Uganda faces deportation to Uganda, where an active Ebola outbreak has already killed hundreds of people. I think it's probably closer to thousands. And where, according to his attorney, he also fears political persecution. So Nalwamba got here in the U.S. back in 2002 for a religious conference. He sought asylum after he claimed he was targeted by the Ugandan government for refusing to encourage members of his church to support longtime President Yoweri Museveni. Though his asylum claim was denied back under the Bush administration, he was nevertheless allowed to remain inside the U.S. under an order of supervision for years. That changed last fall when Trump immigration officials detained him. His supporters say the once active retired pastor has deteriorated dramatically over the last 9 months in detention. Now they say he's in a wheelchair, suffering from pneumonia, malnourishment, and a new viral illness. The timing is hard to ignore. Uganda is battling, of course, Ebola, which kills between 25 and 90% of everyone who gets it, depending on the strain and access to medical care. Uganda has successfully the strain of the Ebola.
I didn't know there were different strains.
It's like
Ebola was Ebola.
It's like COVID, yeah. While Uganda has successfully contained outbreaks before, public health experts warn that response efforts have been hampered by shortages of personnel and supplies. Plus, it's happening in very rural, remote areas. Supporters of Nalwamba's deportation, people who do want him thrown out, say that immigration laws exist for a reason and that a final removal order must eventually be enforced. So the question is, even when the law permits deportation, should a nation send an elderly, medically fragile dude into the middle of a deadly disease outbreak and back to a country where he thinks he might be imprisoned or killed? I guess imprisoned might be less bad than being killed or, killed by Ebola. Anyway, so the question is, what should we do here? This is a great story because, you can argue it either way. I got to say, this is part of there's many respects in which the immigration system is fucked up and broken. And one of them is to have these temporary protected statuses, like the one that was recently thrown out last week by the Supreme Court for the Syrians and the, who were the other ones? The Haitians. Because, you have temporary protected status, right? So the logic was, 10 years ago, people come from, Haiti's too dangerous. Haiti's completely become a failed state. That's all true. So if you're Haitian, we don't send you back because it's so fucking bad. In fact, we're not even sure we can send you back because the Port-au-Prince airport is closed. So there's maybe not even any way, logistically to send you back because our plane might be shot down. So the so then the idea though of temporary protected status is, of course, the idea that eventually a crisis will pass and it will eventually be safe to return this person from whence they came. But in Haiti, that hasn't happened. 10 years have gone by, nothing's gotten any better, no thanks to the United States. And so the crisis is still the same. So on the one hand, you're like, well, it's the conditions that allowed this person to come in the first place still exist. On the other hand, is something temporary status if it goes on for 11 or 12 or 13 years? And the answer is no. And so, this is just, I got to say, I just think it's fucked up. It's also fucked up for the people themselves. They come here, they never really know, they never can really be at ease knowing that they're okay, that they're now Americans, that they're, in the case of the Haitians and the Syrians, most of them are being told, listen, if you apply now for a green card, we will help you through the process and you'll get it. But you have to do it now or we're deporting you. I have zero problem with that at all. I tell all my friends who have like weird immigration status, the second you arrive, if you think you're probably going to stay here, apply for that green card, get it, legalize yourself, become a citizen. Like, you live here, just fucking do it. I don't understand this whole derpy, like, well, I don't know. Okay, but with this guy, the dude's fucking, old as shit, sick as a dog. They've treated him like shit in immigration detention. He's no danger to anyone. I don't fucking know, Manila. That's the truth.
Is case by case is what I got to say. I know there's a ton of people, and we've talked about this on our old Sputnik show, is that there is a dearth of immigration lawyers and they have, 1,000 cases each to do, and they're
only getting worse.
Backed up. I get that, but when there's got to be like emergency dockets, right? Even for, I would imagine, right, for immigration courses or cases, there's got to be emergency dockets, and I would say this old man is one of them. It's like case by case. He's old, medically fragile, and you want to ship him back to the center of Ebola? Like, he was here legally, and now, now it's expired or whatever, his legal status expired, but he's old and fragile. Like, it's a case by case thing. Like, do you take a medically fragile child and take that kid and throw them back in the, say it's Venezuelan, you want to take them back and throw them in Caracas right now where all the buildings are collapsed and people are buried under rubble? Like, send that kid back, right?
The
like
whole idea, I think for me, I get stuck on the whole temporary status thing, right? So let's just say,
this is pre-Biden, right? TPS.
But let's just say you're from, whatever, random Astan, and things back in random Astan are not good. And then it's like, okay, well, so until we'll let you in for 3 years and we'll revisit. But now in those 3 years, you're dating, maybe getting married, maybe knocking up a local, you get a job, you're making friends. At a certain point, like, basically they should either just let you in and you can stay and let it be that, so that you can really start your life and become an American and assimilate, or they should just not let you in the first place. I don't think that I think that this is so American. We have everything in in purgatory, in limbo. We just never let anyone know, like, what to do, and they can't like make decisions for their life. If people integrate more, if they know they're going to stay, they act better, they behave more like the way we would want them to behave, they have better lives, they become better people to live with, than if we just sort of say like, oh, well, you're only here for a little while. It's sort of like why in prison, life inmates are better behaved and more productive than people who are there for 6 months. People who are there for 6 months know they're getting right out. They're going to go right back out to their life of crime. But, the lifers, like, this is where you live. You better make the most of it. I'd rather either have lifer immigrants or no immigrants, I think.
That's a toughie. just for this old man, I would say,
I mean, he's not
where's our
taking anyone's
humanity?
job. He's
retired and old.
He's
Well, but then
retired. He's not
the
taking
argument
anyone's
the argument would be that he's taking social services.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's just tough. Robbie's waving him goodbye.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, part of us is like, so people being old. I mean, that doesn't like, you're 95 years old. If we find out you were a Nazi death camp guard, you're still, you're still going to have one hell of a trial, and you're going to prison, right? So we don't care about that. But this guy's not a Nazi prison camp guard. I mean, he's a fucking pastor.
He's an old ass Christian pastor.
He's an old preacher, right?
Fell ill while he was here. So, case by case. And I hope immigration courts have emergency dockets, because something like this, I mean, he's already been held for months. Like, that sucks. He's an old man. Like, I'm sure there's
so dumb.
And then the shipping him to an Ebola. We should, as a country, wherever.
Well, most people.
If they come from, barring the Haitians, barring the Syrians, like, we know their situation. But this guy, we weren't at war with Uganda. We don't have a problem with Uganda, as far as I know, other than maybe like the scammers, right? So I don't think this old man's a scammer, but it has an Ebola outbreak. Maybe if you're going to ship him somewhere, I thought we were in the process of shipping hundreds of thousands of people to third-party countries that are supposedly safe and just letting them loose. Why do you want to ship him back to the country that he originated from? We're shipping everybody else to third-party countries. So why this old man to his place of birth? The fucking Ebola outbreak. I don't know. It just seems inhumane to me. And obviously, compassion is not a word that's known to the Trump administration. So,
no.
So there's that. All right. Okay, this one be about my peeps in California. California's billionaire tax fight isn't really about billionaires. It's about whether the state can afford to lose them.
Send them to Uganda.
California voters may soon decide whether to approve the nation's first tax on billionaire wealth. Supporters say it's simple. The ultra-rich have prospered enormously and should pay more to fund healthcare, education, and other public services. What's surprising is who's leading the opposition. Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom, widely viewed as a likely contender for the 2028 Democratic presidential nomination, has vowed to defeat the measure, calling it bad economics. Newsom's reasoning is pragmatic rather than ideological. California already relies heavily on its wealthiest residents. The top 1% of taxpayers generate nearly half the state's personal income tax revenue, much of it tied to Silicon Valley fortunes. Those same entrepreneurs have also created hundreds of thousands of jobs, funded startups, donated billions to universities and hospitals, and helped build California into the world's fourth largest economy. Newsom argues that a state-only wealth tax could encourage billionaires to relocate to Texas like Elon Musk did, or Florida or Nevada, taking not just a one-time tax payment with them, because that's what this billionaire tax is, a one-time like penalty or fee or whatever, but decades of future income tax revenue, investments, and philanthropy. The position is that California is competing against 49 other states, and taxing wealth unilaterally could put the state at a disadvantage. At the same time, Newsom has proposed a federal tax on the ultra-wealthy, arguing that a national policy would prevent billionaires from simply moving across state lines to avoid it, which I think is actually kind of fair. The distinction could become politically important if Newsom launches a White House campaign in 2028. The debate isn't whether billionaires should pay more, it's whether one state can ask them to do it alone, and whether California's future depends as much on keeping its wealth creators as it does on taxing them. That's a quandary. I get it. Like, look, the billionaires already exist. And I can't believe I'm kind of defending Newsom's position on this. We already saw Elon Musk pack up SpaceX and Tesla and go into Austin, right? And there are tons of others. Just like during the pandemic, who was the safest to leave New York that wanted freedom? All the wealthy people. They picked up and left, and they went down to Florida where they can like just go be however they wanted, maskless and whatever, and continue dining. Same thing is going to happen with the billionaires. I mean, any billionaire, if you're a billionaire, you definitely have a property in Montecito, right? If you're Oprah, obviously you have your big mansion in Montecito next to Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, right? People like that, they'll just leave to another state. They'll go, I don't know, decide to get a ranch in Wyoming or something or whatever, where they can avoid paying that one-time tax. It's really just a fee for, the ultra rich.
Will they?
If every state did it, then it wouldn't pit California against Wyoming or California against Texas. So I get that from my home state, because I do know, and I've seen how the wealthy people do some nice things, and that's not to say that they don't get tax benefits for their philanthropy. I know how that works. I get it. But at the same time, their money is flowing into hospitals, is going into like different like child care things. They do donate to philanthropical causes. They do get a benefit from it. I'm not saying that. But bottom line is they do.
By the way, they would still
give
get
money.
that. They would still, even if you moved to, let's say, rich assholes moved to Arizona to duck this tax, which I don't think they're going to do, and I'm going to get into that why. But if they were, they can still donate money to the state of California to be do-gooders in LA or San Francisco if they want. They can open a hospital and donate to it. There's nothing stopping them. They still would get the benefit of that federal tax deduction no matter where they live. So there's a bunch of things to unpack here. First of all, this is a one-time tax. So if you're a billionaire and you're going to try to figure out, am I going to up and leave? Now, moving is a giant pain in the ass for any American. Are you going to up and leave when imagine all the complicated business and personal financial and business structures you have set up for yourself when you live in a state? Are you going to up and leave to duck one tax, no matter how much you hate that tax, no matter how annoying you find that tax, when it's a tax that you can easily afford, especially when you don't believe or know that tax is ever going to happen again? It might not. Secondly, Newsom should reach out to other governors and get cooperation and say, let's all do this. That way, we're all on the same page. And you probably have some billionaires, you can tax them. Then these fuckers will have nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, and we'll nail them, and we'll get the tax money rolling in. Then there's nothing.
But that's his point. That's his point. Is even he's saying he doesn't want California to compete with 49 other states.
But also, billionaires are okay for all. It's true. Like, let's look at the pros and cons of having a billionaire in your state. Let's say you live in California. Yes, you're going to get the income tax revenues, although those are wildly degraded by all the massive tax breaks that these guys get. Right? Look at someone like Donald Trump. He's a fucking billionaire. He doesn't pay any taxes at all, year after year after year after year. That's why he didn't want to release his taxes. Not because he was broke, but because he legally tax cheats, right? He doesn't cheat on his taxes.
Sure.
He just doesn't have to pay because of the way that the tax code is. So they're hardly paying it. They're hardly paying any taxes to begin with. So there's not that much of that. Also, philanthropy. They can do philanthropy from any state to any state. Lots of billionaires live in state A and have philanthropic beneficiaries in state B. Finally, and this is, I think, the most overlooked aspect, billionaires have a toxic effect on the communities that they live in. They look at someone like Zuckerberg. He has like his compounds in like the Mission District and in is it Palo Alto? Where he bought up an entire block and closed
several
down
blocks,
a public school, a Montessori school, and basically I mean, what benefit does he provide the people of Palo Alto? None, except he's driving up property values, which means that old people now have fucking real estate taxes property taxes they can't pay, even though they've been living in the same home for years. The wild, that all the restaurants, the diners are closing, being replaced by fancy fucking restaurants that most Americans can't afford to eat at. It's not a positive influence. The only thing these people do, maybe, is they pour some money into state tax coffers. That's it. And if you're going to tell me that a state as populous and wealthy as California can't make do without these like 5 assholes, then they're fucked anyway. Because like
I think there's more than 5 billionaires in California, Ted.
Okay, but they're not leaving. Okay, so and that's
I don't know. Robbie brings up a good point though. They're rich. They don't move the way you and I move. We don't. They don't go hire a couple movers from college,
right? I mean, it's a huge pain in the ass for them to move.
They have lawyers. Why? They have movers.
Why is it a pain in the ass for them? Well, one of the advantages about being rich is that you have true, honest to God freedom of mobility. You can go anywhere because you can afford to go
not
anywhere.
Easily.
Absolutely, Ted.
You have all your shell.
They have people.
They have an army of lawyers on retainer. They're not doing that themselves. It's not like them running.
They still have to supervise it. They have to attend meetings. They have to, they have to be.
Zoom is a thing, Ted.
Everything.
Zoom is the thing. Like right now.
I think.
No, right now what I'm doing, my little itsy bitsy one-man company, I'm going through a rebrand. It used to be West Glacier Gaming. I'm changing it over to West Glacier Media because it's no longer just gaming. Now it's just more what I'm doing right here. And it sucks because it's just me. I don't have a lawyer. I don't even know a lawyer. So it sucks. It's a complete shit show. If I'm Zuckerberg or some other one of these schmucks, they already have these lawyers on retainer. They'll let them know, okay, this is what's going to happen. I'm planning on doing this in 3 months.
Sure,
and make it work.
But they have a lot. But the amount of stuff that they have to change is a lot bigger.
They don't have to.
All they have to do is make a couple of phone calls. And let me tell you what I would do. What I would do, because I know that Jeff Bezos watches the show. Instead of going to Texas or someplace like that, I would go to one of the American territories, like American Samoa or Saipan,
but it might tip over.
Where you pay no federal income tax at all. None.
Well,
there's none. I know some people that went to Puerto Rico.
Let me just say, Robbie, though that option existed to them before they ever lived in a high tax state like California. Yeah. And yet they choose to live in California, which brings me to my ultimate
until
point.
They choose not to.
But they're not gonna. It's like a bluff.
How do you know?
They already chose to live in a high tax state, right? They don't care. They have so much money, they can easily afford the taxes. For them, the convenience and quality of life, this, like I like California best. Yeah. That's why they're not going to move. It's like all the masters of the universe always threaten to move the New York Stock Exchange to New Jersey if like there's ever a Ted Rall style tax, stock transaction tax imposed on the NYSE and Amex. Well, the thing is, they don't want to fucking go to New Jersey, okay?
Ted,
they don't want to live in New Jersey. They want to live in New York. That's why they're going to fucking pay.
Ted, here's what you're missing. What you're talking about before made sense because you were limited by the infrastructure and the geography that you're in. Now that everything's like, I'm willing to bet you, mark my words, in 10 years from now, there are not going to be any more public bank branches. It's all going to be done online. Every financial transaction is going to be handled online.
Sure.
Everything.
Sure.
So
but
at
your
that
company,
point,
your employees,
so then
contacts are all in the state.
All your employees, Ted, all your employees are H-1B visa holders. You don't care about them. You're hiring Americans. You're outsourcing your labor.
Well, okay. So the point is that you like eating at the restaurants in California. You like those beaches. I mean, I don't, but they do.
To hire yourself a chef and go buy Saipan. You can own your own country.
Saipan was so. Why didn't they go to Saipan last year before any of this? Right?
Because it wasn't worth the hassle until it is.
It still
Tony Robbins has his own island in Fiji.
It still isn't worth it.
Listen, no, one of the things I'm going to let y'all know because one of the things I used to
tax them 90%.
It's a one-time fee, and so a part of me, I hate saying this because I know it can cause some pain to California. I have mixed feelings about this. Like, I don't like rooting for Gavin Newsom, but a part of me is like, well, if California's GDP goes down, maybe I can afford to move back someday and be near all my friends and family. Like,
yeah, well, actually, if the billionaires leave, there's more of a chance that like the real estate prices will return to something approaching normalcy, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like, if all the rich people, like, let's say, not even if you're a billionaire status, just the multi-millionaires, if they fucking go somewhere else.
You have multimillionaires and billionaires moving to Montana.
Yeah, they're killing the state.
It's causing hyperinflation, right?
Yeah, so it's killing the state.
Well,
it's killing the state.
And that's already happening.
And that's what happened to
everywhere where they live. They're a negative influence. I say wherever I am, I don't want them around. Shoe flies, go away.
The bigger issue.
We're building our guillotine for all of you.
The bigger issue is not so much the hyper rich people. It's all of the middle class Californians who are fleeing, bringing their crap here. So it's not the millionaires and the billionaires. No.
So it's just like the comfortable Californians.
Yeah, it's the people who make $200,000 or $300,000 a year, the middle class Californians. Because for example, here in Fayette County, the median income is $40,000 a year. So if you're able to work remotely, or if you're a retiree and then you come with your big bucks in California because you sold your overpriced home, you become a land baron, and it's killing Montana. Fayette County is a complete basket case right now. It's bad. The point that I am trying to make is wealth is fungible. It's transferable in a way that's never been before. And moving is not the hassle it used to be if you're able to hire an attorney, which all these people have. And it's not
full staff.
And it's not an issue till it is. And then the last 2 points thing I wanted to point out to you. One, what services do people actually get for paying their tax? I'm not talking about just the billionaires and millionaires. I'm not anyone in California. What benefit do you get from the taxes that you pay to the state? I don't see any benefit at all. Just like I don't see any benefit that I get for paying taxes here in Montana.
We were not getting a lot of them, Robbie. As you know, like, I had a homeless family member, and the way Gavin Newsom spread the wealth around was prioritizing the health and the services needed by the illegals.
Correct. So what services are you getting that you're paying for? Second, I want to remind you all of this. The income tax was originally supposed to be a tax, the federal income tax, on the richest of Americans, never to be paid by anyone else. That was the promise that Woodrow Wilson made at that constitutional convention when the income tax was passed.
Woodrow Wilson also told us that we were never going to go into World War.
But that's the point that I'm making. Can you? In what world do you trust anything that the government ever says to you? Why would you ever give them the benefit of the doubt for anything? If Donald Trump or Gavin Newsom or Greg Gianforte told me, Robbie, if you go outside, the sky is blue, I would call him a liar. That'd be my default setting, because I don't trust a single fucking thing that they say, because they lie every single day. And their entire objective is to bend Joe Citizen over the table and get it up the butt every single day. Meanwhile, migrants get free health care. Goodbye. I'm the Ugandan pastor. See you later. You should have never been here anyway. Fuck off. Do not care. Full stop. Close the borders. Mass deportations. That's how you fix California. You stop subsidizing the whole fucking third world and you take care of your own people first.
As you know, these billionaires like Bezos and Musk and all of these, Microsoft, they love having the illegal immigration and immigration in general. They love it.
That's why. That is why.
Yeah, that's why. And it helps them get rich. And
and if you're able to go, I mean, what's to stop them from going full Chinese and go buy themselves a little fiefdom in Kenya? I mean, what's to stop them? Seriously, you can do that.
I really want them to leave. Please leave. Go away. Leave the
Newsom,
country.
I don't know.
Leave the United States. Go away.
We got to do our last topic and then we got to go. But for Newsom, I got to say, this is a really tough needle to thread, because we all know he's eyeballing 28. And,
of course.
And he cannot afford to piss off the Bezoses and the Gateses and the Musks, because he needs them to be on his side to fund his campaign.
I'm calling it now. You want to know who I think is going to run in 2028? Who the nominee is going to be? Marco Rubio and Jeff Bezos, not Bezos. It'll be Marco Rubio for the Republicans. It'll be Gavin Newsom for the Democrats.
I've been saying Newsom for sure.
Entirely possible, but I think I wouldn't write off JD.
I could see that.
Yet.
I knew Newsom for the last 2 years. I don't know about JD, but all right, I could see your point about Rubio for sure, because he's one of their old boys.
I would have to say, I mean, obviously these would both be reprehensible choices, and this would definitely be a Ted Rall classic. Got to vote third party, no question. But Newsom would definitely be favored to win there, even though he's not a great candidate. I mean,
he would beat Rubio. Rubio
has
can't
that
win.
Negative it factor, where he's, first of all, he's gayer than Pete Buttigieg.
You really think?
So
I don't know.
closeted,
people have said that.
So gay.
Really?
He is so
he sets off your gaydar
and squirrely and I mean, he just makes me uncomfortable.
Okay, Scott Bessent's gay.
Manila, you are muted.
Am I? Can you hear me, Robbie?
I hear you just fine. You're not muted.
Yeah. No, who was it that didn't know? Who was it that didn't know Scott Bessent was gay? When you look at him, you could but Rubio, I don't know. I just think he's one of those what I call soft hands.
Rubio doesn't have a soul. I don't think the guy's human.
Yeah, I don't think he's gay. I think he's just one of those soft hand guys that doesn't know how to change a tire.
Got it.
Yeah. That's all, but all right.
I mean, I just think I think Newsom, I mean, I think Rubio would be a terrible candidate for the GOP.
He can't win against Newsom. Newsom would sail to victory over.
Yeah, that's exactly what it would be. Yeah, it would be political suicide by the Republicans.
Well, they're screwed anyway, because Trump has
a problem too because of that face.
Well, Trump has blown up the entire Republican Party, because you have right-wingers like me who would never vote for J.D. Vance because he has no spine. We would never vote for Marco Rubio because he has no soul. So
because he's the OG neocon.
Yeah, well, that's who Trump's in bed with.
I'm crossing my fingers for a Massey run, but nobody's gonna pay for him.
Manila, you'll hate this, but you're a Republican. You voted for Trump. And
I'm not a Republican.
It makes you, Republicans be like Republicans do, right? You voted for Trump.
And I voted for Bernie before in the last time I was,
a
California resident as a primary.
A Democrat back then, but now
no, I wasn't a Democrat either. I've always been an independent.
But the point is that Robbie and Manila, I mean, who would be your dream within mainstream, actual
Massey
could possibly be a candidate, not dream candidate, but
Massey,
who?
Thomas Massey.
Okay, and for you, Robbie? Thomas Massey will not be permitted by the GOP.
I mean,
I know that.
To be honest, I mean, if you're asking me about someone that's in the Republican ecosystem, there's no one. It would have to be an outsider. It would have to be.
That's how I feel about the Democrats too.
It would have to. If Tucker Carlson ran, I'm not saying he would win, but I'm saying he would cause. It would be a political earthquake.
He would
on the left and the right.
Well, he would have to go the Ross Perot route. He'd have to go independent. He's wealthy. He'd have to self-finance.
I don't think you have to go independent. What you do is that you hijack the Republican Party from within, and
Trump did.
And then what I would do for my running mate would be someone that's from the populist left. You can make the case for Jimmy Dore. Maybe. I'm not sure who else would really fit that mold. I mean, there's some populist lefties who are out there, but that's how you're not going to win the Democrats. You're not going to win the Republicans. You're going for the middle and the populists, and that's how you burn the whole thing down.
The politically homeless.
Yeah,
that's what you would do.
I agree with that, but it would be very, very challenging. But yeah,
all right, sure. Rock and roll. Last story, and Ted, you're going to be thrilled with this one because I think maybe we're seeing the death of the influencer.
God, please. Before we do this, Manila, you have to promise to put the cat story in for tomorrow.
I'll put the cat story in. I finished all of this way before you started. You have to share stories sooner, Ted. I was on it yesterday.
All right. For years, movie studios have perfected a marketing formula that would make Homer himself roll his eyes. Before critics are allowed anywhere near a blockbuster, invite an army of influencers to an early screening, hand them exclusive access, maybe a themed cocktail, a selfie wall, and enough branded swag to stock a small Comic-Con booth, then watch social media fill with breathless reviews, declaring every film an absolute masterpiece and the greatest cinematic experience of all time. Christopher Nolan doesn't give a shit. Universal Pictures has decided that the Odyssey, Nolan's adaptation of Homer's 3,000-year-old epic poem, starring Matt Damon as Odysseus, alongside Tom Holland, Zendaya, Anne Hathaway, Robert Pattinson, Charlize Theron, Lupita Nyong'o, and star-studded cast, will skip influencer screenings altogether. After its July 6th premiere in London, the first people to see it will be professional film critics. In surprising move, because influencer screenings have kind of become SOP in Washington. Studios rely on creators with millions of followers
Hollywood
to generate instant hype before traditional reviews are published. The problem is that audiences have started noticing that after free trips, exclusive access, and red carpet treatment, those reactions tend to always be incredibly positive. Influencers have become less like reviewers and more like hoe bags, except they're paid in access, clout, and the promise that they'll keep coming back. Universal's decision suggests confidence. Rather than trying to win the algorithm, they think the movie's great and that critics will actually like it. And it's also as an acknowledgement that audiences probably care more about what critics have to say than influencers. So I don't know if this reflects a sea change. It's one movie. But yeah, I mean, it would be cool. We've seen a lot of crappy movies post-pandemic. So
yeah, we've been saying how shitty Hollywood's production capacity is, that they're just like regurgitating everything, like, let's do the Dukes of Hazzard again. Like, I mean, it's first the seeing the influencers get rejected just right out of the gates is kind of amazing, because we lived through the Biden era where influencers were everything, right? And they were using it for political purposes. And obviously products and, stuff like that, they've been using influencers for years. But with this movie, with the Odyssey, I just kind of love that Christopher Nolan's like, no, fuck you guys. We're not doing this.
Answer is niet.
I kind of love that. But do we have any great real film critics like Siskel and Ebert anymore? Like,
well,
do those guys even exist?
I mean, the newspapers have fired most of them. So there's kind of like it's like book critics. There are none anymore. So
I'm saying, so
yeah, who has that credibility, right? I mean, I don't know the answer to that. I mean, obviously, you can be like, oh, the film critic for the LA Times, blah, 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 blah. So it's like these brand names, or, the film critic for Variety or whatever. I mean, look, I have to admit, I care about that shit a little more than I care. I certainly don't give a shit about what some influencer has to say, ever.
You're right.
About anything. I just don't.
I agree. I've never purchased a product or a movie ticket because somebody with 2 million followers on TikTok
I don't give a rat's ass. I mean, even if I think like someone's reasonably intelligent, like Rogan, let's say, I still don't care.
Well, he's an influencer, like, not because he's an influencer. He's influential because he's a podcaster. Influencers are these fucking worthless, like, nobody, like, what the fuck are you? Like, you just have a YouTube, no, not a YouTube, sorry. You have an Instagram and you take selfies all day.
Yeah,
and somehow you have 2 million followers. And so now we should shower you with goodie bags and red carpet premieres. Like,
it's very weird.
No, like, that's no. So Robbie just wants to bitch about one film. I'll let you bitch and then we got to go.
Well, no, I mean, it's just, my whole thing about it is Achilles is played by that
go back.
tranny
You're talking
Paige.
about the Helen of Troy, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about the Odyssey, Christopher Nolan's new movie that's coming out, because I guess they have flashbacks back to the Trojan War, and so
Really?
Achilles is played by that girl who cut off her boobs and pretends like she's a guy now. Last name is Paige, I think, and Helen of Troy is a
Ellen Page is now.
I don't know.
Elliot,
whatever.
Page.
And
Ellen
Helen,
Page, yeah.
and Helen of Troy is a African who's darker than Kizzy is, which is impressive. I mean, the movie should be boycotted on this. If you're going to do
I did hear it was woke. It was woke in that sense.
I mean, it is kind of funny, right?
Woke
like we always talk about like David Carradine, doing yellow face for Kung Fu.
Yeah.
Or God, I recently saw Lawrence of Arabia, and I forget which Arab character is played by it's played by Alec Guinness, right? Like a sheikh is played by Alec Guinness. We all considered that to have been wrong, because it's not just cultural appropriation, but there were actual actors of these ethnicities who were available to play these roles, and they were being passed over in favor of whitey, right? I mean, how is it make sense to do it now the other way around?
Well, it's bigger than that. I mean, you can make the argument that that Homer's works, combined with Aristotle and to a lesser extent, Socrates, helped forge Western culture and civilization. I mean, there's a reason why they remember.
100%. Yeah.
I mean, if you've actually read the Iliad, Helen is described as blonde-haired and white-armed, or cream-armed is how she's described. And so what you do is the ultimate insult to the only ethnic group that you're allowed to just insult nowadays is just blatant overt racism. You're going to find the darkest, ugliest Black African that you could stick on there. Looks like someone hit her in the face with a shovel when she was like 2 days old.
That's the lady from Wicked, right? Nyong'o.
Yeah, I mean, it's an insult. If this is done, if it's in any other place, it would rightly be called.
I don't know
racist
if it's an insult.
to
I
the
just think
extent.
it's dumb.
It's both.
I mean,
it's a dumb insult.
I honestly don't understand the whole Alexander Hamilton as a Black guy. I don't.
It's just like
he had a little something, but that's not the same thing.
I mean, it's just like I tried to watch Troy, Netflix adaptation to it, and I couldn't get past like the 4th episode. Achilles is Black, Patroclus is Black, all the Greek gods are Black.
Yeah, it's like you keep having to suspend disbelief. It's like these plays where like one person plays 4 roles, and you're like, oh wait, now you're Bob. Oh wait, you were Kevin before. Like what?
It's just like if I wanted to watch right now, a great show I highly recommend. It's on Hulu. It's the new adaptation of Shogun. Excellent movie. It would be like if you had all the samurai were all Black. It's like
and it's not
first the Japanese people would never accept
actors, right? It's like that's not the point.
No, yeah. It is. It's just like the latest Assassin's Creed movie. It features a Black samurai. Sorry, those were not a thing.
Right?
Could we please try at least?
I've got to go.
Dial back the woke crap.
Yeah, we got to run. All right, so
bye guys.
So Robbie next. Robbie's gonna play Lady Guinevere in one of these medieval films. All right, we got to run. Thank you for thank you for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow on Tuesday. Adios, amigos. Bye, Ted and Robbie.
Bye-bye.